Let's solve some problems here. Which of the following expressions is equivalent to 6 plus 5i cubed? And note that I is equal to the square root of -1. Now, to solve this problem, we're given here a complex number raised to the power of 3, or our exponent is equivalent to 3. We can either use the calculator. You can just simply plug in 6 plus 5i cubed there, or you can solve this by hand by expanding this, multiplying it all out. So you can write 6 plus 5i cubed as 6 plus 5i times 6 plus 5i times 6 plus 5i 3 times. So let's multiply the first two binomials first. So that would be 6 plus 5i times 6 plus 5i. So this is just equal to 6 times 6 is 36. Then 5i times 6 is 30i, plus 6 times 5i is 30i, and then 5i times 5i is 25i squared. So we have 36 plus 60i, we group like terms, plus 25i squared. And then we can multiply this by this one, another 6 plus 5i. Okay, let's do that. Oh, you take note that I squared is just equal to -1, because I is equal to the square root of -1. So we can replace I squared as -1. So we can write this as 36 plus 60i plus 25 times -1. So this is just 36 minus 25 plus 60i, which gives us 11 plus 60i. And now we can multiply this binomial by 6 plus 5i. We have 11 plus 60i times 6 plus 5i. So this would be 11 times 6 is just 66, plus 60i times 6 is just 360i, plus, okay, 11 times 5i is 55i, then 60i times 5i is just equal to 300i squared. So this is just 66. We group like terms. 360i plus 55 is 415i. And then our I squared is equal to -1. So this is 300 times -1. So we have 66 minus 300 plus 415i. And this is just equal to -234 plus 415i. Therefore, our answer here is letter C. But if you want to answer this quickly, you can always use your calculator. But I prefer to do it this way, so I won't make any mistakes. If 4x plus 3 equals 19, what is the value of 4x minus 3? Now, to solve for the value of 4x minus 3, we need to solve for the value of x from the equation given here. So that would be 4x plus 3 equals 19, and then we subtract 3 from both sides. We have 4x equals 19 minus 3. So this is just 16 divided by 4. Therefore, the value of x is just equal to 4. And now we can solve for 4x minus 3. So 4x minus 3, we just plug in the value of x, which is 4. Okay, so 4 times 4 is 16 minus 3, so this is just equal to 13. Therefore, the answer is letter C. For h minus 21 minus 8h over 3 equals 15 plus 6 times h minus 1 over 2. What is the value of h in the equation above? Now to solve this problem, we just have to simplify the numerators on both sides, the right and the left, and then we cross multiply, and then we solve using inverse operations. So let's do that. 4h minus 21 minus 8h can be written as 4h minus 21 plus 8h over 3, and then 15 plus 6h, we distribute 6 to h minus 1 minus 6 over 2, and then we group like terms. 4h plus 8h is that is equal to 12h minus 21 over 3 equals 15 minus 6 is just equal to 9 plus 6h over 2, and then we cross multiply. So we have 2 times 12h minus 21 equals 3 times 9 plus 6h. And then we can distribute 2 and 3 to the corresponding expressions inside the parentheses. So this is 24h minus 42 equals 27. 27 plus 18h. And then we add 42 to both sides. This cancels out, so we have 24h equals 27 plus 42, that is 69 plus 18h, and then we subtract 18 from both sides. So we have 6h equals 69. And then we divide both sides by 6. So the answer is 11.5. Or you can reduce 69 over 6 into another fraction in its simplest form. So both are divisible by 3. So we can write 69 over 6 as 23 over 2. If f of x equals x minus 1, g of x equals x cubed, and x is less than or equal to 0, which of the following could not be in the range of f of g of x? Now to solve for this problem, we are asked for which could not be in the range of f of g of x. So we're given the values of g of x and f of x. So for the composition f of g of x here is our inner function. And it is stated here in the problem that x should be less than or equal to 0. So x is either 0 or a negative number. And every value of x, when substituted to this function will result in a 0 or a negative number. And that is true because here g of x, which is equal to x cubed, when a negative number is raised to an odd power, and that is the answer is always negative. So that means the range for g of x, okay, range of g of x, the largest possible range value for g of x should be equal to 0. And consequently, the largest possible domain value for f of x is also equal to 0. So let's try substituting 0 for x in f of x. So that is f of x equals x minus 1, and then substituting 0 here, 0, negative 1. So the answer here is negative 1. So negative 1 here is the largest possible range value for the composition, the f of x. So the range is from negative 1 below. So anything above it, it's not in the range of f of g of x. So from the choices given here, only one, letter D, is not in the range of f of g of x. So the answer here is letter D. So you just have to take note that in questions like this requires thought, and you need to understand that when dealing with compositions, the range of the inner function, say this one, the inner function here is g of x, becomes the domain of the outer function, so which in turn produces the range of the composition. So you take note of that. Negative x squared minus 10x plus 24 over 2 minus x. Which of the following is equivalent to the expression above, given that x is not equal to 2? Okay, let's solve this problem here. So we can solve this expression here by using a polynomial long division, or we can factor the numerator here, and we'll see if any terms cancel. But we have a negative quadratic equation here, so this is a bit tricky. So we can start with factoring out negative 1 from the numerator and the denominator. So that would be negative x squared minus 10x plus 24 over 2 minus x. Let's try factoring out negative 1 from both the numerator and denominator. So we put negative 1 outside. We have x squared plus 10x minus 24. And then negative 1 here too. Then we have negative 2 plus x. Then we cancel out negative 1. So we have x squared plus 10x minus 24 over x minus 2. Let's try factoring this numerator here. So x squared plus 10x minus 24. We can factor this as kx. What are the factors of 24? That when you multiply them, it would equal to negative 24, and when you add them up, it would equal to positive 10. So the factors of 24 are 24 times 1, okay, 24 and 1, 12 times 2, or 12 and 2. So since the middle coefficient is positive, so that means the larger number should be positive. So this would be x plus 12 times x minus 2. So that would be our factors for this expression here. So we can write the whole expression as x plus 12 times x minus 2 over x minus 2. And we'll see if we can cancel some terms here. Yes, we can cancel x minus 2. Therefore, this is just equal to x plus 12. So this expression here is just equivalent to x plus 12. So the answer here is letter D.